Okay, so we've got a pretty hefty stack of stuff to go through this time.
Yeah, looks like someone's been doing their homework.
You've sent over articles, notes, even a whole PDF called Real World Listening Bootcamp. It's clear you're serious about mastering how English is really spoken out there, not just the textbook stuff.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we're going to do today.
We're diving deep into the world of, like, real conversations, you know, those unscripted exchanges you hear in a coffee shop or on the street or in stores, those kinds of things.
And that Real World Listening Bootcamp PDF you mentioned. Specifically, the content for day 20, which is from something called EnglisPodcast, and it's titled English Listening Practice with Real-Life Dialogues. They use hidden camera audio, which is pretty cool. That's going to be our main focus today.
Think of this as your crash course in feeling more confident in those real English situations. We'll be looking at common phrases, those little pauses people make, some slang you might come across, and even how pronunciation can change in casual conversation.
Oh.
And we'll even tune into some different accents along the way.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, why don't we kick things off with something most of us do pretty often, ordering coffee.
Perfect. Our first audio clip comes from a hidden camera in, you guessed it, a coffee shop. Let's hear what we've got.
Here it is. Can I get a large iced latte with almond milk and they had a pumpkin muffin?
It's amazing how much we can learn about natural speaking habits from just that short order. You probably noticed the in there.
Oh yeah, that little we all do it, right? Like a tiny pause for a second.
Exactly. It's a filler word, giving the speaker a moment to think. Doesn't necessarily mean they're unsure, just part of the natural flow.
Right. It's like, you know, recognizing those little pauses helps us understand not just the words, but the way people actually think and speak. Don't let them trip you up. It's a sign of a natural speaker, not someone who doesn't know what they're saying.
Spot on. And then there's that Lemmy textbook example of slang those informal words or phrases we use all the time, short for "lek me," obviously.
And those little shortcuts are like more than just casual. It's like a sign you belong, that you're comfortable with the language. Understanding them helps you connect on a deeper level.
Absolutely. Oh, and did you catch how they said almond? Said it more like almond, didn't it?
Yeah, that silent gets me every time.
It's super common. You'll find those little pronunciation quirks all over the place.
Makes you wonder, what other words do we drop letters from in casual speech?
Tons. Think about comfortable. Often becomes comfortable, or probably. Turns into probably. It's all about how stress shifts and certain sounds get less emphasis.
It's like the language is always trying to find ways to be more efficient, right?
Exactly. Now, the PDF mentions something called a shadowing exercise.
Oh yeah, what's that all about?
It's basically listening to a piece of audio and immediately repeating it, trying to copy the speaker's pronunciation, intonation, everything, even those pulls.
So for this coffee order, I'd pause after hearing it and try to say it just like that with the me, the whole shebang.
That's the idea. Great way to train your ear and get those speech muscles working to sound more natural.
Okay, so coffee is ordered, we're out on the street. Now what?
The classic scenario, asking for directions. And this is where things can get a little more, shall we say, informal.
Let's hear it.
Here's the exchange. Tourist. Excuse me, how do I get to the art museum? Local. Head down Broadway till you hit 53rd, then hang a left.
Okay, so right off the bat, till you hit. Definitely not textbook English.
Nope, but you'll hear it all the time. It just means until you reach. Those kinds of contractions are everywhere in natural speech.
Makes sense. And hang a left, that's about as casual as it gets. You wouldn't see that in any official guidebook.
True, but super common for turn left. Just rolls off the tongue better. It's like, is there an equally informal way to say turn right?
I bet there is. I'm already thinking hang a right. Sounds pretty natural.
Bingo. These directional slang terms are deeply ingrained in how Americans speak. Oh, and the source points out an interesting cultural tidbit. Americans often use down and up for street directions, even if there's no slope involved.
So when the local says head down Broadway, it doesn't mean it's downhill.
Not necessarily. It's just a common way to say go along that street.
Those little cultural quirks can be tricky if you're used to more literal language.
For sure. They're everywhere. All right, we've got our coffee, we've got our directions. Let's head inside a store. Specifically, we're dealing with a return.
Another everyday situation. What kind of communication styles do we see here?
Let's listen. Customer. I'd like to return these jeans. The tag's still on, but I lost the receipt. Clerk. We can do store credit. That work.
That clerk's response, that work, is like super short and to the point.
Right. It basically means, is that okay with you? or does that work for you?
Yeah.
Very common in situations where things need to move quickly.
And the customer saying, the tag's still on, even though they don't have the receipt. That's interesting. It's like they're subtly trying to prove the jeans haven't been worn.
Exactly. It's like preemptively addressing a concern the clerk might have. And the source also points out how the clerk avoids a direct no. Instead of saying they can't do a return without a receipt, they offer store credit.
It's like softening the blow, turning a potentially negative response into a solution. Makes you think, how else do people say no without actually saying the word no?
Now you're thinking like a linguist.
Yeah.
Okay, let's shift gears and talk about something that can be a real challenge for English learners. Accents.
Oh yeah, English isn't just one way of speaking. It's a whole world of different sounds and rhythms.
Exactly. We've got a little segment where you'll hear the same phrase spoken in 3 distinct accents. The phrase is, have a good one.
All right, let's hear how someone from the southern U.S. might say that.
Slight southern U.S. accent. Y'all have a good one.
That y'all and good'n are just classic southern charm. Now how about a British accent?
Slight British English accent. Cheers, have a good day.
Completely different vibe. That cheers adds a whole new layer of friendliness. Let's round it out with the Australian version.
Slight Australian English accent. Have a ripper.
Have a ripper! Gotta love Aussie slang. It just shows how much personality can come through in just a few words.
And being exposed to these variations is so important. It's not just about understanding different accents, it's about expanding your ear and getting comfortable with the sheer diversity of spoken English.
Couldn't agree more. Now, the PDF also has a little quiz we can use to test our listening skills.
Perfect. Let's put what we've learned into practice. First question. What would you say if a barista asks for here or to go? Super common question in coffee shops, right?
All the time. It's just asking where you plan to enjoy your drink.
Exactly. For here means you'll stay at the cafe. To go means you're taking it with you. Simple, but essential to understand.
Makes sense. What's the next question?
This one's a little trickier. Someone says, you good. Hint. It's not about your health. What do you think they mean?
You good? That's interesting. It's almost like they're asking if you need anything, right?
You got it. In this context, especially in a service setting or a casual interaction, you good is a quick way of asking, are you okay? Or do you need help?
So if a store employee or a waiter asks that, they're probably just checking in.
Precisely. It's not a deep philosophical inquiry about your well-being, just a friendly way to see if everything's all right.
It makes you realize how much meaning can be packed into just a few words depending on the situation.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. We analyzed a coffee order, deciphered some street directions, navigated a store return, tuned into different accents, and even tackled a quiz. I'd say you're well on your way to mastering real-world English.
Absolutely. And the learning doesn't stop here, right?
Of course not. Keep your ears open. Pay attention to the English you encounter in movies, TV shows, even everyday conversations. You'll start noticing those informal phrases and subtle pronunciation shifts everywhere.
It's like a whole new world of languages opening up. So think about everything we've discussed today, those little filler words, the casual slang, the way pronunciation can change, and how meaning can be so context dependent.
All connected.
Exactly. Now think about this. How might paying attention to those subtle cues change the way you communicate in English and help you connect with native speakers on a deeper level? It's a question worth pondering as you continue your language journey.
Definitely food for thought.
All right, that's it for our deep dive today. Until next time.
See you then.